Why, hello there.
Hello, hello, hello.
My name is Mary, and welcome again to another episode of the Watch That Drawn podcast.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Welcome to 2024, suckers. The
Oh, is
first
this our
2024
first?
recording.
This is our first episode of 2024. That
We
is.
released we released episodes. We Leave the World Behind in color purple in 2024, but this is our first 2024 recording.
No. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, you're right. Yeah. This is our first recording. Yeah, this is the first studio session in 2024. That's crazy. Quickly, how do you think 2023 has been to you?
2023,
A little year and
um
wrap up.
yeah, I think it's been good. We had a lot of weddings. Couple babies been born.
Babies.
Um
Who? Oh,
y-
okay. We don't have to say their names.
yeah,
I had to think about it.
Yeah, no, we had a couple babies in the family born.
And
We
outside the
had a
family.
few, and outside the family, yeah, we had unfortunately a few deaths this year in 2023 as well.
A lot of deaths.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, decent amount. But I guess that kind of come with every year. You got births, you got deaths, you got marriages. That's how life kind of
Hmm.
goes.
How the way you
So
said that, it really, that comes with every year. You have life, you have death, you have birth. And I said the same thing twice, but that's your perspective is very linked to the overall theme of this movie.
yes, and what's the name of the movie, Murphy?
We are reviewing The Boy and the Heron, which is a film by Studio Ghibli, directed by, they call him the Walt Disney of Japan, but
Mm.
I wouldn't say that as if that's not a compliment, but it's not really comparable. But yeah, this is his 12th featured film, and apparently it's his last.
Yeah, yep, I heard that as well. I heard that this is his swan song, if you will. Um,
I don't believe it
and
though, because he has retired multiple times. It's like,
yeah,
how like rappers be like, "Oh, I'm retiring," like Nicki Minaj does it all the time, and they come out with a new album. Like, I don't believe it.
yeah, no, you're right. And Tom Brady did it,
Tom
so
Brady did do it, and I'm like, dog, how many more Super Bowls do you want? Are you not enough?
and he wasn't. He got one more. So, and
Didn't his
this
wife
is
leave him because he worked too much? Wasn't Giselle like, "I'm tired of your shit"?
yeah, that's what they say, but Tom Brady's okay.
Well, that's what I'm gonna
Um
keep saying because I like drama. I keep saying
No,
that.
and I think Miyazaki with this movie, we can get a little more into it. This was I think he might get a Super Bowl ring. He already got a an Emmy, right?
He got an Oscar for Spirited Away.
No, no, no. He just got an Emmy for this movie.
Oh no, 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 no! He won the Golden
What
Globe.
was it?
Oh, an Emmy. I
Golden
know.
Globe.
Yeah.
Golden
So the
Globe. That's what it
movie
was.
won the 2023 Golden Globe for best animated feature film.
Mm-hmm.
But what really surprised me?
What?
Guess what movie was among the nominees?
Wish. I saw
Fucking
that.
Wish.
Wish.
I said, what is
So,
wrong with y'all?
yeah, that movie was dog water, but
Dog water.
they
Oh my
still like
god.
recommended it. I know. I saw that. That's why
Dog
some
water. I'm
some of
gonna start
these
using that.
yeah some of these awards shows. I don't
They
know.
just
It's
be.
kind
I
of
feel like they literally only did that because this is supposed to be that movie was supposed to be Disney's 100th year anniversary film. Well, it was. I think that's the only reason why it was nominated because we all collectively agree that that movie was dog water, as you said.
yes, and but it's ironic, right? Because this film, The Boy and the Heron, right, was Miyazaki's supposed last movie, his swan song. It
Say
had
say
auto
that again, James. Say swan song.
swan, swan, swan
Swan song. You
song,
said swank. I don't even know what you said. You said
swan
swank
song.
song.
I don't do well
Alliteration.
with words. Yeah, alliterations
You have a
especially.
podcast. Yeah, I don't
I
do well with
know,
words.
I know. It's pretty bad. I tend
Okay. So
to
quickly I just want to
yeah.
talk what Miyazaki movies have you seen? And then I'm gonna name them out. You tell me which one you've seen, then tell me your favorite.
You got the list? I know it's 13 of them.
Oh, well, actually, you have the list on you.
Um, I do now.
It's kind of hard because are we going to do Studio Ghibli films or are we going to do Hayao Miyazaki directed films? Okay, look up Hayao Miyazaki directed films. We're talking about Hayao. Let's do
So
Hayao
I
Miyazaki.
have yes.
Okay, should be 12.
So do 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 do. Okay. I don't know why I started this because some of these names I can't pronounce.
You got it. Is it the
And
is it the
is
the
so the
Italian one?
first yeah.
Cagliostro.
Yes, Lupin the Third, the Castle of Cagliostro. All right. And
Cagliostro. He took Italian too, guys. I'm just letting you know this, telling all your business. No, I have not seen that movie.
yeah, no, I have not either. Yeah, I have no idea what it is.
Yeah.
Also, and that came out in '79. So this dude making movies for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
The next one is Nazusaka of the Valley of the
Nasuka? You
Wind.
haven't seen Nasuka in the Valley of the Wind?
Nasuka. I have not seen Nasuka.
Okay, I've seen
No.
Nasuka.
Okay, I have not seen that. It came out '84.
Okay, so I got one so far.
Castle in the Sky
I've
in
seen it.
1986.
I got two. You haven't
So
seen it?
Castle in the Sky, I might have saw it, but also it's so similar to Howl's Moving Castle.
It's not at all. It just has the
So
name Castle in it.
just naming it. Okay.
I mean, Miyazaki does have a lot of recurring things in his movies. He loves a female heroine with short hair
Mm-hmm.
and a long
Yeah.
biliary dress. Or
Yes,
okay, so have you seen?
you're right.
Okay, there's a name.
The next one.
Okay,
Well, I'm gonna just keep going
yeah,
through them.
okay.
The next one is My Neighbor Totoro.
Totoro. Yeah, I've seen
I've
that.
seen that.
So cute.
Kiki's Delivery Service in '89.
Love that
I've
movie.
seen that. Porco Rosso. I never seen that.
We just watched
Nin-
it.
1992. Nice.
Pretty good.
Princess Mononoke in '97.
Okay, you seen that?
I seen that. Don't remember it.
Okay,
Spirited Away, 2001.
I've seen that.
That's
Of
probably
course.
that's probably my favorite.
Yeah,
Howl's Moving Castle
seen
in
that.
2004. Probably my second favorite. Ponyo in 2008. I think we saw this.
You've seen Ponyo.
Hmm.
I
Oh,
don't know when, but I might have put it on when I was at your house one day. But you've seen Ponyo.
The Wind Rises in 2013. I never seen that.
The Wind. I think we just saw it. Who's on the cover? Is it like a boy in like a page boy hat? I guess you can't. You don't know. Yes, I've seen The Wind Rises. Have I seen that?
Mm.
The Wind
It's like
Rises. What does it
a
say?
girl with a parasol kissing, like painting, and someone's
Okay,
kissing
no, I
her.
haven't seen that. I'm thinking about another movie that I've seen.
It's about an aircraft engineer, which is
No, I
a
haven't
movie
seen that.
has a dream to design airplanes. Okay, I would love this movie.
I haven't seen
Okay.
that. Miyazaki also, he loves planes. We'll talk about that later. But yeah.
Oh, number 12 is The Boy and the Heron.
Okay. So I have
I
seen
thought
10
there
of
were 13
them.
movies.
No,
You've
this
seen
is
10 of
12th
them.
movie. This is just 12th movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's
I've seen
not
10 of
bad.
them. How many have you seen? Do you remember?
Quick count. 2,
And my favorite is also Spirited Away.
4, 5, 6, 7. I've seen 8.
You've seen 8. Okay. So you've seen this
Yeah.
almost as much as I have. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, Spirited Away is my favorite. Then Howl's Moving Castle. Then Kiki's Delivery Service. And we just go from there. Then Princess Mononoke. But
Yeah.
Spirited Away, the soundtrack is incredible.
I thought Ariadne.
House of Arrietty, that's Studio Ghibli, but I don't know if that was Miyazaki directed.
Miyazaki.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
yeah. So going back to The Boy and the Heron, I watched this interview of do you know let me say Guillermo del Toro?
Guillermo del Toro. He
He's a
sounds
director.
familiar.
He's a director.
Mm.
I wish he directed, remember that movie you were afraid of? It was about this Spanish girl.
Dunvilly. Wait.
It was this
What's that?
little Spanish girl in like wartime, and she went to this world where she met a fawn man, a big scary fawn man. And
Oh, you're talking about we like
It's
oh
called like it's not Pinocchio. It's something very. It's a
no,
very
it's like
fantastical movie. It's like a
yeah,
fable.
but it's not animated. It's
No,
like
it's not
like
animated. No, it's not animated.
actual niggas walking around.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I know what you're talking about. I got to find the name of that movie. Crap.
But
Is
anyway,
he's okay.
yeah. Do you want to look it up? You want to? Because
Yeah,
it's called something. It's the tip of my tongue. It's a good movie. You watching at
yeah,
Carly's house?
Spanish horror movie.
It wasn't horror.
It wasn't.
It was like it
Oh,
was a dark sort of a fantasy movie. And then the little girl died at the end or something like that, or she was dead the whole time.
I don't remember, but keep going.
Okay.
I'll find another movie.
So he was doing a TIFF interview, and then he said that the structure of his movies, Miyazaki's, is not bound by the Aristo-Italian Western three-act structure with the setup, conflict, payoff, and resolution. And I feel like this is definitely true for The Boy and the Heron, where I feel like
Pan's Labyrinth.
Pan's Labyrinth. Yeah, is that Guillermo del Toro? Guillermo del Toro? Or did I make that up?
I did everything I could to find the name of this movie, Mary. So I don't know.
Do you say does it say who's it directed by?
All right, hold on. I gotta look it up now.
We're going down a rabbit hole, y'all.
No, it is.
But it's gonna
It
bother
is.
us if we don't fulfill it. So
Yeah, yeah, that dude,
okay,
Del Toro.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, he said it, and I feel the same way about Miyazaki's movies, where he does not follow the typical three-act structure that we're used to. You know what I mean? And do you know?
Three act structure.
Yeah, the three-act structure. I took notes on it before. Let me see if I can pull it up. Yeah, so it's pretty much just how pretty much every story that we're told, the flow that runs with the three-act structure. So, I mean, he says it, even though it seems like more like four acts, really. But let me see.
Do, 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 do.
Dude, have you watched Space Jam?
Oh, the setup, confrontation, and then the resolution.
Okay,
So the
yeah,
setup is like
exactly.
the introduction,
Yeah,
like the point of the plot, and then the confrontation where the main character
that's
needs to
when
take.
the change happens, when the story really
Yes,
takes place.
he
And
needs to take action,
yeah,
and the stakes get really high, and that's
yeah,
the critical point.
yeah,
And the resolution is the crisis, and they have to go fix it at some point.
yeah. And I realize Miyazaki's movies, it doesn't really do that too often, and I do kind of prefer that because I do very much appreciate that flow of a story because it makes me feel satisfied. It just makes more sense to me. That may be why Spirited Away is my favorite, because yes, it's a vastly creative movie. The movie's incredible, but it's like the plot itself is very easy to understand. Like,
She's trying to get her parents back.
it's a three-act structure, you know. She's spirited away to another realm. Her parents get turned to pigs. The goal is to save her parents, and along the way, she makes friends. Plain and simple.
Yep. Yep.
This,
And then, yeah, keep going.
yeah, this movie isn't that simple. But what were you gonna say?
No, I was going to say this movie, it starts out, where he loses his mother in the fire and he tries to cope with that, and his father moves him, and then um conflict ensues, and then more conflict, and then more magic, and then more conflict, and eventually there might be a resolution, I guess. Like, so
There's a resolution within the character himself, but as far as, how do I say it, like
the
actual
story coming
situation
together, and yeah,
and
like
wrapping
at
up.
the end,
Yeah.
his problems are still problems. He just knows how to, I guess, accept it now.
Yeah. So, do you know
You
what this
know,
movie is based off of?
it's based off a book.
Yes. So, it's based
How do
off
you live?
yes, How Do You Live? So, that's
Hmm.
actually the title of the movie in Japan.
Yep.
And How Do You Live is a book written by Genzaburo Yoshino in 1937.
That's an
And
old book.
It is a notebook. It is a notebook. I actually read a little bit of it. I downloaded a free sample from Amazon, and I read a little bit of it. And pretty much it's this book about, very similar to the movie, this kid. Um, they nicknamed him Copper. His real name I think is Honda Junichi or something like that. But his uncle gave him the nickname of Copper because he's kind of like a really contemplative, philosophical kid. So he gave him the nickname Copernicus, but then, shortened it to Copper. So
Mm.
it's about this boy named Copper, and his father dies. And they move from him and his mother. I think they moved from Tokyo to the suburbs.
Mm.
And when he's living in his suburban home, that's when his uncle, his mother's brother, visits him a lot. And they start having conversations and start writing each other's letters. And pretty much it's about Copper learning about the world, realizing that the world doesn't only revolve around him, that there's so many people in this world and they're all living different lives. And that perspective, he says in the book, he says, let me, he says something along the lines in the book. He says, he was standing on a rooftop with his uncle in Ginza, and it was raining heavily, and he was looking down. And you ever have the sensation when you're staring at something that everything kind of blur together? So he's just staring
Yeah,
at like
like you
down in
can't
the streets of
focus.
Ginza.
Hmm.
Down in the streets of Ginza, thinking about how many people are in these houses and how many people are in the world. And he said, man, if the world is water, is the ocean, then we are just water molecules. And just
Mm.
realizing that there's so many people, like he said, he's watching this bicyclist ride his bike. And he's like, it's crazy to him that this bicyclist have no idea that he's being watched. And his uncle's like,
Mm.
there's probably people watching us and we have no idea they even exist. So he kind of became, just really aware of himself. And that gave him more perspective when it came to dealing with hard things, like dealing with bullies in school, you know, dealing with the death of his father and just growing up. So that book is kind of like, it's weird because it's supposed to be like a book for children, but I'm like, by Western standards, this is not a book for children.
It's not a book for children, no.
Like
No, no, no. It's too real.
it's
It's too
complex.
like
It's not a
it makes
story.
you yes,
Yeah.
it makes you self-aware. And I think that's exactly how so one, the book is loosely, very loosely
Yeah,
like
yeah, no, it's not a direct
themed
adaptation.
and based off of the movie, but the movie is still very complex
Yeah.
and is very mature. Like there's a um in a very opening scene where
But wait, I want to talk about the
um
book a little bit more. Unless you
okay.
want to. Okay. I just want to, because I think there are some parallels, even though it is loosely based. There are some parallels that I found between the movie and the book. But even
Mhm.
with the foreword for the book, uh, the author said, "This is such a strange book and such a wise book. I wish I had been given it as a small boy, but I suspect I would have found it puzzling or even dull. A book
Mm.
length essay about how we live our lives, interpreted by the story of a pre war schoolboy in Japan dealing with friendship and bullying, or a story about growing up, bravery, cowardice, social class, and finding out who you are, interpreted by essays about scientific thought and personal ethics." I can't
Well,
imagine myself reading that as a child.
no, I would have put the book down
I would
immediately.
have put it down. I would have put it down. And it's interesting. And there's obviously like connections to the movie. Like we said, like you said, the movie starts off and Mahito realizes that his mother died in the fire.
Mhm.
And this movie takes place in, it's your favorite war, James. What time period does the movie take place in?
World War Two. World War Two. And the first thing I saw
Hold on, real quick.
when crazy 70 points.
Okay, you done eating?
Yes, I'm done eating for now. So let's
Okay,
go.
time in. Okay, yeah, that's what I was saying. James took a snack break. But
You just gonna blame my dinner.
yeah, you did. How is mozzarella sticks your dinner? Hashtag girl
Hey,
dinner.
don't be putting my nutritional facts out there, okay?
He ate mozzarella sticks and pigs in a blanket and
And
called it
and
dinner.
she continues, yes. Sam's Club, son. Well, yeah, Sam's Club, son.
Anyway, so yeah, this movie is based in World War II and around the 1940s, and it said it's actually based in the during the Pacific War, which is a theater of World War II. Do you know what that means?
Probably just a time because World War II was
Very
a
big.
lot,
Yeah.
right? It was in Europe, for America, it started in Hawaii. So Pacific War and specifically was when America um, joined the fight and we start directly bombing Japan.
Mm.
And we bombed Japan using napalm. And napalm was a new chemical that I'm pretty sure the Dow chemical plant figured out by accident. And they figured out they found a way to make a fire that was almost impossible to put out.
Mm.
And they figured out a way how to weaponize it. And that's when the scene first opened up,
Mm.
and what's his
Mahito.
name? Mahito was woken
His
up
father comes in. Yeah. Yeah.
because of the air raid signs, and it was this whole building was on fire. I was like, yeah, that's napalm bombing,
Mm.
and that's most likely by the Americans or our allies during World War II. So
That is absolutely heartbreaking. I heard of napalm before, but you saying it's a fire that you can't put out.
basically,
So,
yeah, it's like an uncontrolled fire.
and
Yeah,
imagining a woman working at a hospital dying from something like that and her little boy finding out, that's very sad. That's very sad. But I also heard this film is kind of a semi autobiography
mm,
because I saw this I'm going to read what I found from a New York Times article. It says in 1944, when Miyazaki was 3, his family fled Tokyo for the countryside. His father worked in a fighter plane factory, and young Miyazaki's earliest memories, he said in interviews, involved war and fear.
yeah,
So,
yep.
yeah. So, what did you what I thought was interesting, what did you think of that scene of Mahito running through the streets of what is Tokyo? It is Tokyo. Of Tokyo
Mm-hmm.
to the hospital, and what did you think of the art style of that? It looked kind of thumbnail sketchy.
Thumbnail sketchy. What do you mean?
Thumbnail sketching is very loosely drawn quick sketches.
Oh yeah. It's not fully like
It's not fully
formed
rendered.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they use that. Yeah, now that you say that, animes in particular use it a lot during action
They
scenes
sure do.
where they don't fully draw out the person's faces, their features, just like
Mhm.
their facial expressions. And no, I thought that was really um traumatic. And like I said, because I knew understood the historical aspect of it, I knew immediately what it was.
Mhm.
And I'm like, yeah, they that building's on fire.
Yeah.
And sure enough, it was.
Yeah.
So no, I thought it was I thought animation up and down throughout the movie was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. And I
Um,
think the thumbnail sketch of it, even though it is not typically where we see thumbnail sketch, like you said, normally with anime, shit gets real when they start getting into thumbnail sketch mode and like it's a crazy
hmm
battle. But I think it was great for the chaos of that moment. And just kind
yeah,
of the uneasy anxiety, sort of your world is falling apart and spinning all around you that Mahito
exactly.
probably felt during that moment.
Yeah, exactly. I remember him running and seeing like the fire was getting closer to him, like it was like
Mm.
pulling him in towards
Yeah.
the flames.
Yeah.
And I think that's symbolic for that's what it was, right? Emotionally, and to see his mom literally just like turn to,
Yeah.
just crazy.
Yeah. So, yeah. So after the fire started, well, after his mother's death, they moved to the suburbs. I don't know where, but this is when I realized that I guess the family has a lot of money.
Yeah, no, they're pretty rich. They're pretty well off, and it makes sense though because his father owns an aircraft manufacturing plant in the middle of World War II. So he has a lot of money. He has a lot of
Mm-hmm.
demand. He needs a lot of workers. He's under a lot of pressure to continue to build aircraft to fight those pesky Americans. So
And like, listen, Miyazaki loves himself an aircraft.
he
Like
does.
the movie we said that we haven't seen, The Wind Rises. You said it was about
Mm-hmm.
a wartime aircraft
Engineer.
engineer. When we
Mm-hmm.
think about even Howl's Moving Castle, like he draws a lot of what are those big like fighter blimps called?
Bombers.
Okay, yeah, that
Bombers or
Pocoroso.
tankers. Yeah.
Okay, bombers or tankers. Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when we think when Pocoroso is literally about an Italian airplane fighter. I don't know the technical term for it, and a big portion of the movie is about planes, and this is one scene in the movie where they're just working on building planes.
Mm.
So
Yeah. He's very big on flight.
flight, and even when it comes,
Flight was fascinated with him. Was
yeah,
fascinated.
and that makes sense because look at this movie. There's so many damn birds. There's
Even if you think about the magical characters in all the Miyazaki movies, from Totoro to Kiki Delivery Service
to how,
to Haku. I mean, how his
oh,
name is like
how,
Haku, How Moving Castle, but Haku the
yeah,
and
yeah. I'm
Spirited
saying
Away.
how in Haku. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He
Yes,
was a
yeah,
dragon.
all
Yeah,
them niggas could fly.
yeah,
All of them
yeah.
were flying.
Well,
And
Totoro kind of glide.
that nigga flew.
He'll like jump
He
up and then
didn't.
glide like ooh.
No, he flew. He was
Have
in
you
the air.
seen? Have you seen that episode of Bob's Burgers where they do a My Neighbor Totoro shout out?
Mm-mm.
It's great. It's honestly great. Like
And I
it's
love Bob's Burgers.
Bob's Burgers is hilarious until around
Landa.
season 5. Then I hate the show. But that's but yeah. So getting back. But yeah, you should watch that clip. Everyone should watch that clip of the My Neighbor Totoro X Bob's Burgers, as the kids will say. But it's really cool. But yeah, so what I realized that was kind of strange is that we find out that his father married again, and he's married to this woman named Natsuko. But they don't
Yep,
really
and that's
say straight out that that's Mahito's aunt. They kind of, I don't know, maybe it's a translation thing, but like,
yeah. No, they said it. I thought it was weird because when she was like, "Oh yeah, I'm your new mother," and I met you when I was a little baby, I was wondering like, that's a little weird. Like, how'd you meet me as a baby when my mama just died last week? You was doing some side stuff. But I saw cultural, especially they had when I was looking it up, researching this movie. Culturally, to keep the wealth in the family, right? If a woman died, the next one up, the woman's sister will be the next one up to kind of step into that role.
okay, yeah, I did see that. There's a term for that, isn't there?
Probably. I don't
I
know.
did see there is a specific term for that. I forget what it's called. But yeah, I guess what's weird is that he didn't call her I don't know. It just they didn't use the word aunts until later on in the movie. And I was like, I know this is your aunt, but you're not saying that's your aunt, and that's kind of strange. But but when she said I'm your new mother, I literally looked at DK and went like, bitch. My
No, she was
mom.
and she was like, "I'm carrying your brother." I'm like, "What is this? Is so fast."
I'm
Like,
like, what? You are not my mother. I don't care if you're going to be
yeah.
taking care of me. You will never be my mother. And the audacity of this, like,
But I also heard that Miyazaki, his father, had a first wife that passed away, and then
okay,
he married
okay,
Miyazaki's future mother. So yeah, the autobiography ties are
semi
real.
autobiography. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Semi,
yeah.
yes,
I
are
still thought
real.
it was a little crazy. I was like, I don't like her. Like, she's already asserting herself as your mother. It's like, I don't know, but I see that all
Well,
throughout the.
well, also, like I feel as though the culture she's duty bound, like as your mother, more so than just emotionally, but that she would be there to support him, like to take
She
care
could have
of
said, "I'm
him,
your
feed
caretaker,"
him.
or you're going to be staying with me. I'm your mother. You're not my mother. You will never be my mother.
Yeah. No, I
I
think
get
I
what you're
think from
saying, though.
a
I get what you're saying, though. Yeah.
I think it's cultural what it means
Right.
more
Right.
so. Like you said, Americas that's not a thing, but maybe in Japan that means have a little more significance. Even though, to be honest, on the side note, he wasn't feeling it either. He didn't really like her at all, really.
No.
And he was on had your same sentiment like you
Bitch.
ain't my mama. Yeah.
Fuck you in this baby.
For real. Like,
But yeah, like Copper, Mahito is a very quiet, sort of contemplative kid. Like I know he went through a lot, but he didn't say anything to her. He didn't like for most of the time. He just said thank you and went to his room, which he told him his room. But one
hmm
thing, he noticed the heron that first day, that very
it flew
first day.
right it flew right past them when they got to their vastly beautiful house in
Yeah,
the countryside.
yeah. So the heron flew right past him, and I like the music that plays. It's just like, okay, we know, of course, because this is the title of the movie, but we know that this heron is significant.
hmm
And I did a quick search of like kind of like the significance of the heron and like human culture. I didn't find much. I just found like back in like the ancient Romans, augurs used to interpret the depiction, well, the heron's call or seeing a heron. It's pretty much saying, yo, something's about to go down. Not very specific, but a heron was a bird used by augurs, pretty much.
What is it? What is an auger?
An augur is someone who looks at the flight patterns of birds to make predictions about the future.
That's a job. I
It's
want that job.
antiquated. Well, I don't know who,
Mm.
but it's a. Let me find the actual.
We got radar now. We don't need that. Like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
the
you know,
pigeons
it's.
are flying west today, so that means it's about this tornado.
I mean, think
Okay,
about Groundhog Day. We see its shadow, and now we think that we're gonna have 6 more weeks of winter. But
I guess that's equivalent superstition.
yeah. So it says a religious official who observed natural signs, especially the behavior of birds, interpreting these as an indication of divine approval or disapproval of a proposed action.
Hmm.
So it's like think about the magic 8 ball. That's the
Yeah,
heron.
yeah.
So
Okay, I get you.
yeah, the heron comes and we know something is about to happen. And I don't know. I feel like with this movie, the heron comes, but I feel like there's periods in this movie where the movie very drags and then it gets really interesting. What do you think?
Yeah, you're right. Because he comes up and is like, okay, it's a bird, and I recognize that they had the markings on his chest, like Totoro, the little
Mahito had the.
triangle things. No, the herring,
Oh, he had like the fur pattern of the little. Okay.
the little triangle things. Yeah, like the fur pattern and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
There are
saw that. I'm like,
actually a lot
okay,
of different callbacks in the movie to other films, to
no,
other
it
Miyazaki films.
there was, but but yeah, when the heron flew up or whatever, and he just kind of looked at it and walked around. No, I agree. It did start off slow
Yeah.
because he was adjusting to his environment. He had all those nosy maids that were going up and
Looking through his
spying on him,
things.
essentially looking through
How'd you
his
feel about
things.
the
And
the old lady gang?
oh, yo, one of them looked just like the big old witch, off of Spirited Away.
Uniba? No, Uniba, his sister. They have the same face. It's Uniba,
Yes,
and what was the other name? Uniba.
I want
Uniba.
to say Waba, or
It was
I don't know.
Uniba, and oh my god,
These names are
whatever.
complicated enough.
They
But
didn't. They
yeah,
didn't
she
look
had
at
like
all to me like those women.
yes, she did. She
Not
had
to
the whole
me.
big old mold on her head and everything. Go
No,
look it up.
it looked like it was in very much in Miyazaki style, but they didn't look like her to me. I know what you're
You're
saying, but
crazy.
it didn't look like her to me.
No, you
Because when
always
you
been that way.
yeah,
You
I know
always been like that, like, oh, that don't look like that person. I'm like, yo, Mary, it's literally the same person. No, it don't look like it.
it's
Their
not.
eyebrows are up and the person's eyebrows is down. I'm like,
No,
Mary,
because
I'm
it's like
rough.
how do I say it? It's like he looks like an old woman. She looks like an old woman drawn in the Miyazaki style, but she doesn't look like Uniba to me. But the fact that you're saying that doesn't sound crazy. It makes perfect sense what you're saying. But
hmm
yeah, I kind of wondered what their purpose was with the film. I understand he's rich, and I guess, and when you have money, you have a lot of ladies in waiting, Mahito and Natsuko, and I
Ladies
guess
in waiting. Is that what you mean?
yeah, that's what I said.
No, ladies in waiting mean like servants.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm just kind of like I don't. Oh, now you're showing me a
That's the lady
picture.
with the head. Yes, I'm showing you a picture. That's the lady with the head. And you telling me it don't look like
I see the resemblance. I see, but I
it's the
would not get
same.
them confused. It's not the same.
I didn't say get them confused. I said you look like her. just like
They
her.
resemble, not just like they resemble each other, but we can go on about this forever. But yeah, I guess I didn't think the story needed that many women, especially since Kirito was the only one who really had a significant
Mattered.
role. Yeah. But I do realize that Miyazaki, he kind of likes drawing groups of something. Like, I think he just likes drawing groups of women. Even when the scene first starts and like the women are kind of like huddled around Mahito's suitcase and like a group, and they look kind of like liquidy, like they're all melding to one another.
Mm-hmm.
Like he likes doing that. When I think about moving forward, when we see the Wara Wara, the unborn spirits,
Yep, yep, yep.
how they group together. I think about there's this one scene of Pocoroso where these badass little girls get kidnapped by pirates, and there's a bunch of them, and they're just rowdy, and they seem like they're like diglets. They just move in a group. So
Mm.
I think he just likes that. He likes that aesthetic. But did you feel as though Mahito, even though he's going through a lot, he seemed like kind of like a snob, didn't he?
He seemed like a snob. So, um,
They always say master, master, and I get it. It's a different time, but like
it's also time and culture too,
he seemed a little
And
arrogant.
well, he was also raised in privilege,
Yeah.
right? Like he expected the woman to look after him, and he even expected, to a degree, his new mother to look after him as well, and he didn't want to necessarily be bothered. Even in school, when like he first got in a fight, you know,
Hmm.
um, I don't know, it seemed like he knew that if he hurt, like when he picked up that rock, which was a very graphic scene, when he took the rock and smashes his head. First, when he grabbed the rock, I thought he was gonna go and try to kill one of the kids, but when he took it and smashed his own head, I was like, "Dag, this dude is trying to get out of school."
So
You
when he
know?
went to school, I noticed that his classmates were laughing at him and making fun of him. But I looked at his classmates, and his classmates look a lot poorer than he did.
Yeah, they had their hair like super cut short, and
They
yeah,
look
you're
like they
right.
were
They
in
were like
farmer's clothes. Like they look like
they were
kids who
exactly,
probably worked more than they went to school. And that's probably
exactly.
why they bullied him, because it's like, oh, you're this fancy new city boy. You think you're better
Hmm.
than us.
Yep.
And what did
And
you
he
think?
fought him. He
Yeah, he
fought him.
fought
He
back.
didn't. He didn't just let them beat him up.
Yeah, he fought back. But what do you think it meant when he hurt himself with the rock?
I don't know.
Okay.
And I thought about it a while. I thought that maybe he hit himself with a rock, like I said, to get out of school.
That's what I
Maybe
thought.
he wanted attention.
That's what I originally thought. I was like first I was like, okay, he's going to hit himself with a rock and then say that the kid who he fought did this. And then,
But he didn't snitch out the
he didn't do
kid.
that. He didn't do that.
He just
And
stayed
then I
home.
thought, oh, he just wants to stay home so he can go looking for the heron. But that wasn't the reason either. But then later on in
No,
the
he
movie,
he wasn't even interested in the heron. Then he didn't care
no, no,
because the
at
heron
that
came
point,
into his room and started talking after he was in like his coma. But before that, he just saw it and was mildly interested, but he wasn't following it. He did
no,
he
the
because he didn't
tower, he wanted to, I thought he did that because he wanted to go back to the tower. I think before he hit himself with the rock, that's when he found that
the tower
tower and he tried
first.
to crawl in that small space.
Okay, that was before the rock. Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Going back to the tower really quickly, I was like, I thought he could fit too, and I was like, oh no, that step is right there. He could not fit in that small space.
He
But I
really got
liked how the
strapped.
way it looked because I'm like, I don't know. I'm just always impressed by the art of Studio Ghibli. It's like,
It's
it's
beautiful.
a small thing, but it's like, wow, we can really see how small this space is. You're not going to fit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he later in the movie he showed his scar to grand uncle in the other world, and he said, "This scar right here, where he hurt himself, is a sign of my own malice." Remember he said that.
I do remember that.
So what do you think that means? Do you think it was just him, just kind of? Do you think it was like a self-loathing sort of response, where he just wanted to hurt himself, or maybe he needed an outlet for his pain?
Yeah, maybe it was an act of self harm, like how
It definitely was an act of self harm, but you know what I mean? Like, why?
I don't know why no nigga hit his head in the rock.
So what do you
only thing I
think?
could,
Do,
only
do,
thing
do
I
you
could
agree
think
with me
of.
that you think it's like it's something where it's like maybe like a like you know how sometimes people they may like cut themselves so they won't feel something else.
Hmm. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I guess I would. Yeah, I have no idea.
But yeah. So and one thing I noticed about the it may be me reaching, but when I read the little bit that I did of How Do You Live, um the author talks about the boy Copper, and the author said that Copper is not like he's well liked. He gets good grades, but he's never like chosen to be like the first in his class because
He's
the
not picked for games and all that other stuff.
no, he's athletic too. It's just when it comes to like academically, he's never like the top student. Like he's
Mm.
never like because and it's because he's kind of he's a little they say he's a little mischievous, and the teachers will know him like kind of like playing with like rhinoceros beetles and making them play like tug of war and everything. And this kind of bothers his mother because his mother is like, you know, you get good grades, you're well liked, you should be top student if it weren't for, you know, kind of goofing around a little bit. But
Hmm.
she doesn't strongly reprimand him for it because in her mind, she's like, listen, your dad just died and I want you kind of to keep this sense of wonder and joy. And if it comes from like this rhinoceros beetles and you kind of goofing off a little bit, I'm not going to reprimand you too hardly about that. So it's like because of his father's death, she kind of like she's gentle parent him a little bit. And I kind of feel similar when Mahito's father, who was voiced by Kristen Bale, what is his name? Do you know his name?
Oh, big mojito.
Big Mahito. Yeah, but anyway, his father comes into the room and he sees that he's been hit in the head with a rock. And even though Mahito tells him he fell and no one else did this, I just fell. He's like, I'm going to find out who did this to you. I'm going to find out. Don't worry about it. I'm going to find out who did this.
Shoichi Maki.
Shoichi is the father's name.
Soichi.
Okay, yeah,
Hmm.
Shoichi is like, I'm going to find out who did this. And Mahito's like, no one did it. He's insisting that no one did this to him, but he's still like, I'm going to do this. I feel like a part of me kind of feels like Shoichi believes Mahito, but he's doing the same thing that Copper's mother did in the book, where he's kind of like, "You're going through a lot, and I'm gonna let this one slide." You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
No, I agree.
But yeah. So
So yeah, what do you fast forward a little bit, right? When the heron when Mahiko is in a coma, right? And the
he's not
heron
in a
comes to
coma.
him. Well, he was knocked out for a few days. He was like, "Oh, you finally woke up." He was out for a while.
I don't remember him saying that.
Yeah, she
I
was
think
like,
he's
"Oh
just
my god,
resting.
he's finally awake."
Um,
You know, he might not have been in a coma, but the dude was he was not there, right?
okay, so when
But
he was
anyway,
in his room, that's when
yes,
the heron. Okay, yeah,
that's when the heron first got there
he peeked through
and
the
first
window.
and
He no,
first
he got on
spoke
the
to him.
windowsill. Yeah,
Yeah, and I think he spoke to him, didn't he? Didn't he say
he
something for
did.
the first time?
I think he might have said like Mahito or something like that. I don't know what he said, but he was very creepy with his human
Yes,
teeth.
yes, and that's when I was like, the F that I remembered. Oh yeah, this is a Miyazaki movie. But the beginning, the first 20 minutes or so, maybe 25 minutes, it didn't really. It felt like it looked like a Miyazaki movie, but it wasn't as
Miyazaki.
whimsical that fast. It was just like slow and normal and normal. Then okay, now you got a bird with teeth that could talk sitting on a windowsill. So I didn't really know how to feel about it. It's kind of creepy.
I liked it, honestly. I kind of like situations where things are very normal and then something weird just happens. It's kind of like now you're a fish out of water and weird things are happening that you can't explain. And
Hmm.
I liked that feeling of tension when he first sees the bird and you're like, this bird has teeth. There's something menacing about this bird. I don't know what this bird
Hmm.
wants from me. I loved it. And I wish that um Miyazaki, what I realized from a lot of his films, Spirited Away, Howl's Moving Castle, um whatever, a lot of movies, that Miyazaki oftentimes turns enemies into friends.
Yes, he does. He does that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I realize there's some common tropes with that,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's
You
that
think about No
when
Face. You think about
yes,
the
when you're
Witch of
in
the
a
Waste.
yes, when you're in one of these movies, if you ever catch yourself, Mary, walking in the woods and freaky stuff start happening, one is always listen to the random advice that people give you, right? 100% without question, right? And the thing that reminded me of that was when um later on in the movie, when like the pelicans came to attack the old lady who
Kirito.
was a young lady, Kirito. She told him to walk backwards and don't turn around. You know what I mean? That reminded me of the same thing of when um the little girl and Spirited Away was crossing the
Chihiro.
bridge. It's
Oh yeah, I
Chihiro,
love that
and
scene.
hold your breath,
Yeah.
don't breathe. You know what I mean? It's the type
You
of
know what
thing
I've
that's like,
realized? I told you this before, but during that scene when Chihiro and Haku are crossing the bridge and they hold their breath, when
hmm
Chihiro starts to fidget and she needs to take a breath, it's the same time I did.
yeah,
They timed
yeah,
it well, so it's like, oh snaps! Like a normal person, this is like I can't hold my breath anymore. Like
exactly.
it was fire. It's fire. But
Yeah, but you're right. So that's a common trope, right? Is
yeah,
that
he likes that.
one, listen, like basically obey without question, but also don't trust your navigator, the person who's pushing you through the road. Be cynical of that person, right? And
What do you mean?
that's
Why do you say
how.
that?
Well, because like you said, the blue heron. I mean, the heron, right? He tried to eat him in the beginning, right? He
Did
led
he?
him into the castle. Yeah, he was like, "I'm gonna eat you," right? And
No,
that's
he
why he had
didn't
to
try
shoot
to.
him.
He be talking a lot of shit.
He might be, but I'm saying in that in that at that time period, um, the boy didn't know.
Well,
He didn't
whatever
know.
instances where you feel like there's a common theme of not trusting like your guide.
So with I can't these Japanese characters are getting me confused, Mary. But the Haku, is that his name? Haku from Spirited Away.
Haku. Okay, yeah.
Yes, from Spirited
The
Away,
boy
right?
dragon.
Yes, the boy dragon. He wasn't trustworthy. The um
Oh no,
um
there was a period of time in the movie in which a hero doubted him. She didn't know who he was.
yeah,
To her, he's been nothing but kind. But everyone says, "Don't trust Haku. Don't trust Haku." And
yes,
then
for
there was this
Howl's
one
Moving
moment.
Castle. How? Right? It was like,
That
don't
is
get close to
true.
How. How
Yeah,
will eat you. He
he'll eat
eats
your heart. He
He'll
eats the
eat your
hearts of
heart.
maidens. Yeah.
And that's literally a common like the person who you need the most, who navigates you the most, is also the person you can trust the least.
No, but I think
Right.
it's the opposite. I think it's more like in those instances, it seems like the person who people tell you not to trust, you could actually end up trusting. Because even the Heron man, at first, he was very menacing, but he became an ally to Mahito later on in the
Yeah.
film.
Yeah. Out of necessity, he did.
Yeah.
He did.
But yeah, I loved that tension. It was nice because it was breaking up the more humdrum moments of the movie when the heron first appears and he's just and Mahito, I'm like, Mahito's really brave because he didn't seem scared of anything
No,
at
he
all.
didn't. The first thing he did, he got his wooden sword and tried to attack it when it first flew up to him. Right.
Yeah, he was ready. He was like, Nuck, if you buck, I don't got time for you. And then he was able to make that bow and arrow and get one
Mm-hmm.
of the heron's feathers. They said the
Mm-hmm.
adding the feather to the bow pretty much is like a seeker missile, so it always hits the heron. So
Yep.
his what he called that his flight number 7 feather or something like that. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Something like that. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so eventually I don't know why, but his aunt Natsuko goes into the woods and she ends up
What
going to
was
the
that
tower.
about? She didn't. She just got up and just walked to the woods.
Oh wait,
They
what
never
about the
explained that.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out. Maybe we'll talk about it.
Maybe she was.
Why
Maybe
she
she
was
was
summoned.
entranced. I think she was entranced because
She
remember the
definitely
whole.
seems entranced, but I don't know why. I don't know why. We know
I
that
think I think I think why
she was
is
summoned, but I
because
don't know why.
yes, I think she was summoned because the whole plot was the master of the chamber, whatever the dude's name is,
Grand uncle.
the grand uncle, right? So the story was that building, that tower that was in the back of their house was constructed by the great like the grand uncle
Right.
of the family
But
of the
it
Maki
was so
family.
it was like, but wasn't it like a rock that came down from the sky and then he tried to build a tower around it?
Yeah, yeah, they learned that later.
Okay.
But yeah, the grand uncle played by Mark Hamill, right? He his objective, right? So he created in this tower this whole alternate universe, right? With remember they ran past a bunch of doors, which reminded me of how Music Castle, how like it can kind of like change the dial and change it, like teleport between the worlds or whatever.
Through the
But
door.
he,
Yeah, that was
yeah,
great.
but he needed a successor. He needed someone to create these roads after him,
Oh, so I guess that's why he
and
called Natsuko, because it has to be
yes,
someone of his bloodline. So he might have summoned
yes,
her as well as Mahito too.
I think he wanted. I think he always wanted Mahiko,
Mahito.
but he's Mahito, but he summoned the mother so he can go there. Like he
Well, he
basically
summoned
was
the
giving.
aunt.
Yeah, you know what I mean. He
Yeah,
he tried
yeah.
to he tried to get as many people as possible. Even the lie that the Heron told him was like, "I know where your mother's at." That was all to get him into the castle so that the grand uncle can be like, "Yo, I need you to take over."
Yeah. I don't think the Heron wasn't lying though. I mean, he was being very cruel,
About
but
show you the mother? That was a lie.
his mother was there though. His mother is Hime.
That was a oh
Yeah.
oh
Yeah, yeah. He wasn't lying.
oh.
He's just an asshole. Like
You're right. Yeah, Lady
like
Hime, you're right.
he is an asshole. And that's one of I wrote down some questions and I said one of the questions was, why is the Heron man such an asshole to Mahito?
Yeah,
Like
no, he was.
why is he? And the only thing I came up with is linking back to the story, How Do You Live? And in the story, like I said, Copper deals with bullies. So I'm like, maybe he is a physical representation of bullies that Copper came across in the story. And dealing with bullies and understanding them may be a way for you to better your life and the people around you and
Mm,
seeing how they live. So it's like
mm-hmm.
originally Copper, the Heron Man was a bully. He was a menace. But over time, they got to spend time together. And after Mahito, remember he ruined his beak. He ruined the
Mm.
hair. He plugged his beak in, and then they became kind of frenemies. They became more friendly.
How did he ruin his beak?
I think he shot him through it with the arrow.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
But one thing I want to go back to before they actually went inside the tower. Do you remember that scene? It's not really sure if it was a dream or not, but Mahito sees the heron and like the little pond outside of his house, and then a whole bunch of toads start coming up from the water.
Oh, I do remember that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Does that seem a little biblical to you? Like one of the plagues? Is there something about like toads? Pretty much
Moses. Yeah,
yeah,
when
yeah. He
when
goes to is that one? It seems so familiar.
yeah,
No.
maybe I don't remember like the plagues that he struck Pharaoh and the Egyptians with.
Yeah, there's something about
Yeah,
toads. I was like, I don't know why this seems biblical to me, but I did like that scene too. Like we said, Miyazaki movies, a lot of them, especially this one, it's not so much about what's actually happening. I think
yeah.
it's more about
So
the
it's
feelings
it's
that it invokes.
it's one of the 10 plagues. You're right.
Okay.
One of the 10 plagues was frogs in the
Okay.
Book of Exodus.
See, I remember it from the Prince of Egypt. That's why I'm like in the
Yeah.
book of Exodus. Okay, so what do you now that we have some context, what do you think that could have meant?
So it says so frogs cover the land of Egypt.
Okay.
So um Because first is the why would frogs be a
A bad
threat,
omen. Yeah, like what is
a
it
bad
about
omen about
frogs? Are they
frogs? 'Cause
bringing disease?
the first thing that happened was that the Nile turned to blood,
Okay.
right? Which is devastating. Any rightful pharaoh
Disgusting.
would have. The Nile was the only main water supply, so that turned into blood. Should have been like, yeah, y'all can go. And then I guess the frogs, and it
Well,
starts
they
with
said God
gnats and
hardened his heart,
flies.
so he wasn't thinking rationally.
No. I'm saying Pharaoh, he could have gave up. The
No, they
reason
said
why,
God hardened his heart to make,
oh,
yeah,
Pharaoh's
God
heart.
made
Okay,
him stubborn.
got you. But but yeah, I don't know. I guess frogs, one, they're gross. They carry diseases. They just are everywhere, and just yeah, just a gross thing. And that's exactly what they did to little boy. You know, they kind
Yeah,
of just covered him up and
yeah.
everything.
But yeah. So that's and another thing that reminded me of. We talked about this in another film too. Like you said, when he went to what I'm calling the world of the dead, and he first meets Kirito, and she tells him not to look back after she performs some sort of
Exactly.
spell. Yeah, it reminds me of Lot's wife and everything. But yeah. So yeah. One theory I have about that, we learned that there's a man inside the heron, which makes me wonder, did the heron eat a man and that's why he's now the heron man? Because it's like the heron gulps and the man goes down. But sometimes when he's talking, you see the man's bulbous nose poking through.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, so we know that in the world, there are legitimately birds of prey in that other world, the world of the dead.
Yeah, that eats everything. Yeah, between the parakeets and the
The pelicans.
pelicans. Yeah,
I'm just like, okay, so did the heron eat a man and now he's a heron man? Like,
yeah. I don't know.
yeah.
I think that
That's just my
mm,
theory. I could be completely
it,
wrong.
yeah, he could have ate him, but I don't think he. I don't know. The movie's weird, and Miyazaki is weird. So I think just the hair. I think the Heron Man taking off the mask kind of humanized him. Like we're no longer afraid of him after he
Yeah.
has the whole head off. You
I
can
actually
just see
start to
that.
like him a little bit. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
there's just
here's like the ugly, the fugly but cute sidekick.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly right. But when it was
But I
just
was,
the
like I said,
bird,
I was a little disappointed because I like, I'm a, I guess I'm a dark person. I like them. I like, ooh, this dude is scary. Like, what's he gonna do? But yeah, yeah,
no, I thought it was I thought it was interesting, and how, like you said, the heron did change over time, right? I thought one funny scene was when they were in the parakeets like hideaway or whatever, and he just kind of threw on like a parakeet mask and just walked around. No one could discover him. Like it was obvious you're not a parakeet dude. You know what I mean? Just I don't know. I thought they found ways to kind of work together, and he saved them. He saved Mahiko a bunch of times.
you keep saying
And
Mahiko.
what is his name?
Don't you have the cast list right in
Mahito.
front of you?
I can't pronounce these names.
It's like
Told you.
mojito, but with an A. Mojito. You drink mojitos, don't you? But yeah. So yeah, I don't know. That's my theory. I think yeah. So
He got you.
one thing that I feel like is really interesting. This is jumping forward a bit. So we later find out that well no, let me go the way I want. So they get into this room and Kirito is with him. The one of the old nannies follows him into the room, and that's where you meet the grand uncle. And the grand uncle said, "I summoned you here, like the pelican, not the pelican, like the heron man said, you've been summoned." And he orders the heron to act as a guide for him. And I'm just kind of like, so a guide. Ultimately, the heron man was to guide him to the grand uncle, but she was right there when they first went into that room that looked like a bit library, and they saw, well, Mahito saw his mom, who wasn't actually his mom. She was like a water clone.
Yeah,
Is it
I
more like
think,
a more like a revolutionary guy? Like I want you to see every part of this world and don't just bring him straight to me.
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is, right? Because the grand uncle was on the top of the room, and like you said, he commanded the Heron to be his guide, and he left. And like I said, I think that he couldn't
He was like in a
actually,
balcony of the room or something like that,
yeah, and I think that he couldn't actually follow him until he seen some things and
and
done
went through
some
the journey.
things and went
Okay.
through the journey. Yeah, he has to go through the plight first.
Okay. So one thing I
You
was
know.
wondering, when they fell through the floor and then he arrives at this ocean world,
Hmm.
dumb freaking birds were so scary. Like,
They were
what do you think was beyond that big golden gate?
hell,
Why do you think it was
just
hell?
de- just death, right? I think I don't know. It didn't seem natural, right? You know how they say like the pearly gates, like the afterlife. That's what it reminded me of.
But you
You
think it
know
was
that
like
that
hell in the skies?
no, I thought it was absolutely hell. I didn't think they wanted to be in there
No,
or
but I mean, do you
something.
think the pearly gates was like actually the gates to hell, disguised as the gates to heaven? The pearly golden gates.
Mm. Well, on the other side of it was a graveyard. Heaven's not supposed to be a
Was it?
graveyard. Yeah, that's what
Well, no, I'm going after you because you said the pearly gates, and I'm like, well, the pearly gates
I'm
lead to
saying. It
heaven.
looks like the pearly gates, which
Oh,
reminded, and but it's also a graveyard. So I'm like, this is probably hell.
that's what I'm saying. So, do you think it's something where like they're tricking people to believe it's heaven, but it's really hell when they go through the gates?
No, because if he didn't have help by the if that lady on the boat
Well,
didn't
I
help
mean, does
him,
the Kirito? Well, I mean, do you mean like, do you think the gate itself is supposed to be like confusing and deceitful? So people will go through the gates being like, "Oh, I'm going to heaven," but it's like, "Nah, you went through hell."
maybe, maybe. I forgot what words was written on the gates. It
Oh,
was
there
like
were words written on the gates. He
yeah,
who,
it was
yeah, they
like
said, "He who enters shall die."
yeah, yeah, but I think he who enters shall die, or he who follows shall die. I forget.
Something like that. Something like that. But then the
Yeah,
pelicans came and bum rushed him, and that's
yeah,
when
no,
Kirito saved him.
no, you're right. Yeah. What do you think about the Pelicans?
They were super creepy. They were super creepy, and I wish I know. I just wish I would have got a little more context about what was happening. Because another thing Miyazaki does, and I like it sometimes, but sometimes I want a little more. There'll be like very magical elements or something like that. Like, okay, when he got pushed through the gates, Kirito came and she did that little spell, I guess, to purify him or something. And it's like he does that in other movies too. I remember once again in Spirited Away when someone discovered that a human was in the realm. Haku blew like this breath, and I don't know what it did, but it was some. Remember, he went like, and he like blew a breath, and like leaves came out or something like that. It was a very small
Hmm.
scene, but there's a lot of in a lot of his movies there are like small spiritual sort of spells people do, but you don't really know why. And for this moment, I did want to know more about the pelicans. Like we learn later on that the pelicans eat people because they were brought into a world where they have nothing else to eat. And that's why they eat everything. That's why they eat the wara wara. They don't have anything else to eat. But I did want to know more. What was that gate? Like what was really about it? But you know,
They said it was similar to the Gates of Hell and Dante's Inferno,
Dante's
and it says
Inferno.
and it says the gate said that those who seek the Creator's knowledge shall die.
That makes sense. Those who seek the creator's knowledge shall die, because it's like when you think of even about the Bible, Adam and Eve, they were tempted by the devil to have all the knowledge of God so they could
Hmm.
become godlike. But you can't do that if you're human, so I guess that means death,
Yeah.
because you have to, your physical self has to die, and I guess you have to be reborn as a deity. But Yeah, I wish I, because it seemed really interesting, and I'm just like, I wonder what this is about. But Miyazaki loves to work in ambiguity. He's
Yeah,
like,
no, I think it was a Dante's Inferno reference because even um the main character in that story, what Don Quixote,
who?
uh Don
Don
Quixote,
Quixote. Don
yes,
Quixote. Don
right.
Quixote is like a super big like souvenir store in Japan. They're everywhere.
Oh well.
Yeah, Don Quixote. You can get a lot of good souvenirs there.
They said that he lost himself by reading too many books, right? And I think that's even like the grand uncle, right? He made the world, and he, in theory, had all the knowledge of the world. But if you want to obtain that knowledge, um, you would die. You know what I mean? It's just too
Mm-mm.
much for one man to kind of handle.
You know what I thought? What something that I think it's a theory of mine. So we know that when going back to the human realm where Shoichi, is that his dad's name? Mahito's dad? Anyway, when Mahito's dad and the woman were sitting down and they didn't know where Natsuko or Mahito was, one of the old women told him in the story about the rock in the tower. So the rock fell from the sky, and Natsuko's and Mahito's mother's grand uncle tried to build like a tower around it, but the tower collapsed and a lot of people died or got injured.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it reminded me of the Tower of Babylon a little bit. You remember that story?
Mm-mm.
Didn't someone try to build like literally like a stairway to heaven and it collapsed, or God had them speak in different languages? It didn't work. Pretty much, it didn't work. But what's interesting to me is that, okay, now the grand uncle is in this other world, so I'm going to call it the world of the dead, and he's tasked with stacking these sort of Jenga blocks to try to create a better world. And that seems like a direct reflection of what happened in the human realm. Because he tried to build something and it didn't work, a lot of people died. Now he's kind of reflecting that same thing, trying to build something good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But failing
Yeah.
and creating this monstrous world where birds are all over the place eating people.
Yeah, and not just that, but in the real world, the tower was shaky. His tower was shaky and unstable, and he said there's so much malice in the world, and obviously at the time, World War II was happening.
Mm-hmm.
We just got out the first World War One in the early 30s. So it
Mm-hmm.
was a lot of turmoil, and I think the tower collapsing, right? I wondered if that corresponded to like when the Pelican King, right, came up and like
The
destroyed the
Parakeet King.
tower. The Parakeet King, yeah. I think that I don't know. This might be a stretch too, but I think it
No, I want to
corresponded
hear
to
your
the
theories.
the
That's why I be
bombing.
asking.
Yeah, the bombing of Nagasaki. You
You said
know,
what? Say it again.
the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
You
Just the way
think?
that I think it's correlated, right? Because towards the end of the plot, the war was ending, and the big cataclysmic event of that tower being destroyed, it seemed like it kind of correspond with World War II ending. And the biggest thing in World War II that changed the course of history was the dropping of the bombs. And I thought that was like the ultimate form of malice, you know what I mean, that humans kind of showed by dropping a weapon that can
Yeah,
kill,
that was a new form of malice. You're absolutely right. Yeah,
you
that
know.
was. Um, but yeah, this movie showed me. I think we underestimate like birds. Like when you think about like a lot of birds are apex predators of their environments. Like herons
Yeah.
are apex predators of their environments, well, their ecosystems. And birds of prey are a thing. And like they used to be dinosaurs, didn't they? Like some of these birds literally were freaking dinosaurs. And I think this movie showed me, y'all better stop playing with birds. Like y'all better stop playing with birds.
Like Granny said, these birds be plotting,
These birds be plotting. These birds be plotting.
you
But
know.
yeah. What did you think of the Wara Wara?
The Wada Wada? Oh,
I
Wada
thought they were
go.
saying Wada Wada too, but it's actually Wara Wara. I did think it was Wada
Wada
Wada.
Wada. I thought they looked stupid. They was like little like white things that kind of floated,
I
and then they
think they
ate
look
that,
stupid.
and they just ate like the fish caucus or whatever, and it was like, oh, these are like unborn souls, and the pelicans came and ate them. I'm like, what the f is going on with this
I
movie? And
love
then like
that. At first, I
it
thought
was
they were
just
just cute. They remind me of if you don't remember Princess Mononoke, but in Princess Mononoke, these are these tree spirits called kodamas. Am I saying it
mm,
right? The kodamas, and pretty much kodamas are they're tree spirits, and you know that the forest is healthy and thriving when you see kodamas.
mm,
They look like them to me. I was like, oh, they look familiar, and I was like, oh, they're Princess Mononoke. So that seems like a never callback. But I did when she explained when Mahito was at Kirito's house and we just saw the Warawaras ascending, and she said they're going to be born, like these are unborn souls. I actually thought that was beautiful. I
mm.
thought they was beautiful. I was like, oh, that's what they are. Because, this whole time, I'm just thinking they're just cutesy things and don't know much about them. It's like, oh, these are unborn souls. So this is where people come. It's a war. It's like Kirito says on the ship that this world is full of death. But here we go. And you see life. You're
Mm-hmm.
literally seeing the beginnings of life. And Mahito had the opportunity to help with that. Like the Warawara, they ate that big old fish they caught. So it's like Mahito's really literally learning about life and death, which
Yeah.
can help him process his grief even more.
No, you're right. And even how the pelicans came and just gulped those things up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It kind of shows how even in birth how complicated life can be, even for us to get to this world. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
It's a
Like how much
miracle.
you have to go through, yeah, to get here is a miracle. And his mother was actually the one that
Himi.
Lady Himi, yeah, Lady Himi, shot the flame to save the little floaty little things, right?
Warawara.
Water, well, yeah, that. But at the same time, she destroyed some of them as well,
Yeah.
and I think that's also life, like there's positive and negative consequences that you do. And just, I don't know. Like I said, the whole thing was very, very, very symbolic.
Hold on for 1 second. I gotta plug mine. Yeah, but going back to that, it's just, it's Mahito also learns more about the world in that you're eating again. Every time I turn around, you got something in your mouth.
Pause.
But even in that instance, like at first when the Warawara are going to be born and the pelicans come and they eat some of them, at first Mahito's very angry with them. He hates the pelicans, but then when he finds one pelican that's been injured by Himi, and the pelican says, we eat them because we're literally in a world with nothing else to eat. And then he dies.
Yeah.
Mahito feels sympathy for him and he makes a grave for him. And to me, it's another callback to the book and just him understanding that the life that you live isn't the life that other people live.
Yeah.
And your circumstances isn't other people's circumstances. And you can't fully judge someone because you don't know how they live. Like, this is the life they have to live. This is the hand they were dealt. And he makes a grave for them. And then even in that moment, him and the Heron Man, they have at it. But even, Kirito mediates their relationship, but they actually start to work together a little bit. And they actually become friends. But, yeah. I'm going to jump forward a bit. Because I don't think there is, let me see. I don't think I have. Oh, one thing I noticed about Himi, was also similar to what I said of what I think the theory is for the grand uncle. How does she look dressed to you?
She looked just like a servant a little bit.
To me, she looks like she's dressed like a midwife.
A midwife. I don't know what a midwife would be dressed like.
Google Florence Nightingale or Google midwife outfits or just a midwife.
Midwife.
Yeah.
What the heck is a midwife?
A
Just
midwife
birth
is some.
babies.
Yeah, they help a woman birth the baby.
So like midwife just look like nurses.
Yeah, yeah. And it's interesting because we know that Mahito's mom died in a hospital fire. So I don't know if she was working as a midwife in the human realm. And it's
Oh,
interesting to
you
me.
mean because she's wearing an apron?
Yeah, she's dressed like a midwife. Even how her
Mm.
hair styled is like a midwife style. And
Okay.
it makes sense because Natsuko's pregnant. And we know in the human realm, um, Mahito's mother dies in a fire. Like she dies in a hospital fire. And I
Hmm.
think it's kind of beautiful that you died in the fire, but in this world, you control fire.
Yeah. No, it is.
Like you've taken control of the thing that killed you. And now you're using fire to help bring other people into the world and you're using it for good. So I thought that was really cool.
No, you're right. It's full circle. It's full
But
circle.
yeah, one thing that's um I'm confused about, jumping ahead a bit. Why was it so taboo for Mahito to enter the delivery room, Natsuko's delivery room?
I was wondering that too because did
Oh my god, you think maybe Natsuko's baby was supposed to be the successor? That's
no,
why she came. Maybe it wasn't her. Maybe it's her baby that's supposed to be the successor.
no, because he needed a successor immediately. He couldn't wait for a baby to grow up.
But the rules of time don't apply there because Mahito's mother is his age, a little young, older maybe.
Yeah, but I don't think that's it. I don't know. I was wondering why he wasn't allowed to be in the room. Did she end up having a baby? I don't remember.
I don't know. The movie ended really abruptly when it just said 2 years later we moved back to Tokyo. I
And the baby
think
was there.
yeah, the little boy was there. Yeah, he had a little brother. There was a little boy there, so she did have the baby. She did have the baby. I guess what the only thing I can think of that it would be taboo only if because it was weird. I wasn't sure if that was Natsuko or Mahito's mother in the room. So the only way
Neither
I
did
could see
I.
that being taboo if she was in the process of giving birth to Mahito. That's what's like, oh, that's kind of weird. Like
Giving
you're not
birth
supposed
to
to
your
watch your own birth.
ew, yo.
But even the Parakeet King was like, you said ill. Even the Parakeet King was like, that was kind of a sin, like what he did. He shouldn't have entered the room.
Yeah, I don't know. But there's also weird rules. I don't know if that's a cultural thing or that's just a weird rule that just existed in that road.
In that world. Yeah, yeah. But what does the paper remind you of? The paper, the attacking paper.
Naruto.
Why Naruto? You thinking about that
Because
blonde dude?
no, I'm thinking put paper bombs. You just put like warriors on it, you throw a paper bomb and then boom.
That didn't
Naruto.
remind you of remember in Spirited Away, those little paper crane thingies that attacked Haku when he was a dragon?
I don't remember that really.
Let me well, I want you to Google it. Google like paper attacking Haku or something like that. Like it's like that's what I was like, oh, here's a paper again. Another sort of callback.
Yeah, okay. Attacking Haku.
Yeah, but paper may be a significant sort of, I don't know, maybe like weapon or something in Japanese culture because I didn't think about Naruto. But you're right. They'll write like these characters on paper and then the paper will like explode or do something.
Yeah. No, I don't see it.
You don't see it.
But
Yeah. It's right before he's like flying and he flies into the bathhouse, but he's all bloody because evil paper's attacking him. And Chihiro goes to help him. Yeah, it's just evil paper.
it's all so stupid.
He has a million paper cuts.
Death by a million paper cuts. Just a little bit of
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. But
Okay. So
yeah.
then if we oh man, this movie is very dense.
There's a lot going on. There's a
It's
lot going on.
on.
Like, well, I guess the parakeets were freaking terrifying.
They
Like
were. How he just walked around with the fork and knives, ready to eat them whenever he turned around. He's like, "Oh yeah, come in, come in, come in."
come
and they just
Yeah.
had the fork and knives behind their back. I'm like, dude, these things are savages. And
Yeah.
why, if you're a parakeet, you need to have a fork for a knife? And also, the fact that they didn't need to eat this boy. Like if you saw their prep, like of their stew, and they had so much food and sides and like a whole
I thought
table
that too. I'm
thing.
like, y'all niggas got vegetables.
I
Y'all
got
just want to
vegetables
eat
and fruit.
humans.
I just want to eat this little
Yeah,
boy, right?
just
And they were preparing and they were savoring. They like, yo, we about to season this thing up good. Like,
no, it was terrifying because Mahito really thought he was with his granduncle, but he was dreaming and he's really about to get ate by this fucking parakeet. They're sharpening his blade on the wheel and Mahito's chained to the damn wall. I was like, oh, these niggas is crazy.
they're crazy.
They are
Bro.
crazy.
It was
It's
a eater.
always it's always
And
a
then
scary thing to me in movies where someone wakes up in a dangerous situation because it's like, yo, thank God nothing happened to you or you were sleeping.
exactly.
Yeah.
So the Parrot King's motivation when he gave like
Parakeet
his
King.
speech, yeah, the Parakeet King. These words, man.
Parakeet King.
When he was like, I'm gonna go talk to the grand uncle
Granduncle.
about such as I forgot what he said.
He
What was
kidnapped
his
Himi.
deal?
So what I saw was that I guess he want I don't know what he wanted, but he wanted to present Himi. He kidnapped her to the grand uncle. I
Why?
do not know why because I'm like, did Himi not have access to the grand uncle this entire time? Could she not have went there herself? Was she avoiding him for some reason? Why did he feel the need to capture her to bring him to the grand
He
uncle?
wanted
And if he
he wanted a
did, what did he
bargaining
want in
chip.
return? Yes, but I'm like, why would she be a bargaining chip? Was she afraid to go see him? Like, why would you need to capture her? Did they not have a good? They seemed like they loved each other, Himi and the grand uncle. So I don't. Maybe he didn't know that. I don't know. I guess he knew he was looking. He knew grand uncle's looking for a successor, so he kidnapped Himi, and I guess he didn't know that you didn't need to kidnap her. I don't know, and maybe he was bargaining for I don't know, maybe better conditions for him and the other parakeets.
Better conditions. He got a whole castle. He's the king of the thing.
Well, maybe he just I don't know what he
Maybe
wanted. Maybe food. We did see them feasting, but maybe food was still very scarce. I don't know what he. I didn't know. I don't know what the trade off is.
yeah, I
You
didn't
know.
get it. It was confusing.
Yeah.
And then like when he went up and when he kidnapped Himi and they were the Heron and the boy was running after him and he like cut down the bridge and everything and the whole thing
Yeah,
was
how
weird
did
and funky.
Mahito survive that? He cut
Yeah,
that bridge to pieces.
he
He
did.
was like, he cut. I thought he was gonna stop. This nigga kept cutting. He cut some more. I said, Mahito
Yeah.
dead.
Yeah, and he was just all that rubble just kind of fell on him.
Yeah,
But
I listen. Like, I feel like this work is Miyazaki. Just, I feel like he directs movies based on visions that he has.
he's just gonna wake up and be like, "Oh my god, I'm about to make a bird be evil and eat humans."
Yeah,
But
like I
like with
said,
fork
this
and
one.
knives.
Yeah, I really think he has these visions, and they're beautiful and they're strange, and he just like I'm put it together because even if you don't understand it, you're gonna enjoy watching it
Yeah,
because it looks
that is
good.
true. And that's I feel like that way with every Miyazaki movie. I didn't understand
I don't
it.
think everyone. I don't think
Everyone,
this no,
everyone.
because you like I said, we you understood Howl's Moving Castle, you understood Spirited Away, you understood Princess Mononoke, you understood this one is a strange one. This one is the more straight Nausicaa and the Valley of the
Abstract.
Wind. Yeah, it's abstract. Yeah, that's a great word for
So
it. This is
so
an
so
abstract visualization of a book.
so what do you think is the main theme of the movie?
I think the main theme of the movie, well, when I think about Mahito's decision at the end, he found some blocks that weren't tasted by mallets, and he had the option to stay in the world of the dead, and really try to, I guess, stay in the world of the dead, and try to make a perfect world, a world where he has his mother is there, and he doesn't have to go back to the human world where he's motherless and sad. You know, he could be God of his own world. But he chose instead to go back to the other world because even though it's filled with grief, it's war, you know what I mean? There's a lot of bad stuff happening in his own world. I think he realizes that that's a part of life, and he's strong enough, and now he has the tools to deal with the highs and lows of life. And I think he realized that even though things are really bad back home, it's a life worth living.
Yeah.
Like, so I think the story, the overall story, is like what the book says about a young boy learning, I guess, for one thing, how to not be so. Children have a very egocentric view of the world.
They do.
So him realizing that, like I said, there's so many people in the world. You are not the center of the universe. You know, they even said it in in the book, the letter that Uncle writes to Copper. He said, you know, back then, oh, I forget who, some philosopher decided that the sun revolves around the earth and we are in the center of the universe. And he says that kind of reflects our beliefs as people, that we are the center of the universe and everything revolves around me.
Galileo?
It might have been. I don't know anything about philosophy, but it might have been Galileo or astrology, whatever it falls into. And he said it mirrors, the uncle said that mirrors our ideas about humanity. And yeah, I think Copper realized that I am not the center of my own universe. I'm only a small part of it. And if I can understand how other people live, I can make the lives better for the people around me and for myself, because we're all in this together. We're all water molecules in the ocean.
Copernicus.
Copernicus. Okay, Copernicus said that. I guess that's why he called him Copper. Yeah. Copernicus said that is why he called him Copper. So yeah, Copernicus had the what's it called? The heliocentric theory. No. Copernicus said it was the right one that said actually we revolve around the sun.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and that's why the uncle called him Copernicus, because he realized that we are not the center of the universe. That
Yep.
everything doesn't revolve around us. It's actually the opposite way.
Yep, exactly.
So yeah, I think it's that. And like I said, I think it's also just, I guess, a coming of age story and just really realizing the tools you'll need to survive a very harsh world, honestly.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I saw this other interpretation that the grand uncle is actually Miyazaki,
Mm-hmm.
and that Miyazaki was for a long time looking for a replacement for him,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because he is retiring, and like we saw, he was making movies for the past 40 years or so,
Allegedly retiring.
allegedly, right? But he's 82 years old,
Mm-hmm.
so if he doesn't retire now, he'll retire soon, right? And I think that if you think of it like that, that he is the grand uncle, then the world that he created was just magical world, the Studio Ghibli world, right? Where um he can control, and it was like far fetching and far reaching. That's why all the characters kind of looked alike and everything. And I feel like with this movie, where he didn't really find an absolute successor,
They said
that
he really backed off for this movie. They said most movies he's very micromanaging. He he doesn't overlook anything. Like he'll go in and hand draw things. If it's not perfect, he'll
yeah.
do it over again. But he said he took a lot more of a hands off approach for this movie.
Yeah, and maybe that's what it is. Maybe instead of passing the baton, like some people be like, yo, man, I put all this work into this. I need to pass the baton on to keep my legacy. But in this, he was able to let the castle fall,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't have to pass the baton. I did my work. I was successful. Here you go. The people who live beyond me can do what you want. You can live your life the way you want to live it. I think that's another interesting aspect. So, what would you rate this movie?
I would give The Boar and the Heron. I feel like I would give this a medium bag of popcorn.
You give everything a medium bag of
I
popcorn.
know. I was just thinking that too. I was like, it's a medium bag of popcorn
Everything.
because, like I said, there's parts of the movie where are very boring, and I
It's a
I
long
come to
movie.
expect.
It's a long animated movie.
It's a long animated movie, but Miyazaki, he loves to take his time with films. He loves to depict very domestic films of people just kind of living their lives. Like even when we think about in this movie, when Kirito rescues Mahito, they feed the war. Well, they feed the war. Then they go to her home. Um, I think the first thing she does is like cook dinner, just put something on
Mm-hmm.
the stove, and then Mahito's asleep. When he meets Kimi, they just did all this crazy. Himi, they do all this crazy stuff. Then they go back to their house. What she do? Make him a peanut butter and jelly sandwich,
Mm-hmm.
and they just eat the sandwich and they just talk. Um, he likes moments of stillness and just moments of just people living their lives. And there's a lot of beauty in that. Like I watched this one video on YouTube and I was like, I'm glad someone feels the same way. I Love Spirited Away is one of my favorite animated films. I'm gonna keep going back to it. But that scene where Chihiro's on the train, that train that runs in the middle of the ocean.
Mm. And she just sits there with with the little no face dude.
It's quiet. Nothing's happening. But listen, Joe Hisashi, he composed all of Miyazaki's films except for one, which is the Casto Cagliostro, the first one, I think. He composed all of them. I love that man. I told you before, he was in New York last year, and I wanted to go see him, but I didn't because broke. But it's just the score. I think the song that's playing, oh my God, it's called The Sixth Stop. I think is what it's called. I have the whole album on my phone, or the Sixth
Wait,
Station.
you still talk about Spirited Away?
I'm still talking about Spirited Away. But
Oh, okay.
yeah, it works because you have this beautiful music, this beautiful imagery, that the stillness is nice, it's contemplative. And that's the thing too. He always gives the characters time to really process what's going on too. So, but I feel like for this one, it was a little bit drawn out. Maybe it's because I wasn't as enthralled with the score as I was in Spirited Away or in Howl's Moving Castle or in other movies that I've seen composed by Joe Hisashi. But like just I don't know, where it's actually funny. In the movie he actually reads a copy of How Do You Live? And he's
Yeah, the boy. Yeah, he
Mahito,
finds
yeah.
it.
And then he finds notes from his mother. And that's
Yep.
beautiful, but before then, when he was trying to build a bow and arrow and everything, I was like, all right, this is kind of dragging a bit longer. Bargaining
Actually,
with Kirito.
No, actually, I appreciated all that.
You like that? You
I
like
did.
that? Maybe I could think of something better, but there were moments where it's just like, okay, this is kind of, he's taking his time. But like I said, Miyazaki likes to do that. He likes to spend time in a place and focus, and it really shows like his mastery of the form, because there'll be little things. Like I remember this one scene in Spirited Away, Chihiro's like putting her shoe on, and like she puts it on, and then she taps her heel to make sure it's secure. And it's like, you just flexing at this point. Like the studio is just flexing. Look how detail oriented we are. So, but yeah, I'll give it a medium bag of popcorn because it was slow. Sometimes I was a little bored. And the story, I'm a plot person. I am a plot person. Like I do like more conceptual movies too, but like I said, there's just questions that I want answered, and that kind of, I do love mystery. Don't get me wrong, I love mystery. Not every question needs to be unanswered, but I need to feel satisfied. If there's something that, like, okay, the Wara Wara, for example, that's an unanswered question that satisfied me. Where do they come from? Like, there's so many things we don't know about them, but the simple explanation, these are unborn souls, that works for me. Okay, I don't need to know more. But like I said, with the pearly gates, the golden gates, what was that? What's behind? I want to know more about that. What's going on? Like we said with the whole, why did the Parakeet King kidnap Himi? What was he trying to bargain for exactly? And why did he kidnap her if Himi and the granduncle were okay? I think, why is Himi's name different from Mahito's mother? I don't remember what her name was, but it wasn't Himi in the real world. And, there's just unanswered questions that, like I said, is not something that I'm okay with not knowing. So I'll give it a medium bag of popcorn, because a small bag of popcorn, I do think it's better than that. A small bag of popcorn I reserve for movies that I did not enjoy. But I did enjoy this movie. It's definitely not one of my favorite Miyazaki movies, but I did enjoy it. I do have problems with it.
Okay. Yeah. I give it a large. And the reason why I give it a large is because this is one of the only movies that like I love his movies because I always leave confused, let satisfied. And I saw the gems. I thought that um he did what Wish couldn't do with the Easter eggs and just like the call outs to old previous movies that we talked about in depth about how we hated how Wish rushed it or it was just so obvious, like, oh yeah, like this dude is from I don't know, like another movie or
He said, "Okay,
just
Bambi." I was like, "Oh, that's so
yeah, like,
corny."
okay, Bambi, exactly. Like stuff like that, right? This
It
was
might have been
more
funny if I haven't seen it in the trailers. That might have been funny, but yeah.
I didn't see it in the trailers. I didn't think it was funny. But
Okay.
but no, I think this movie did a very good job of literally just staying true to form, and I thought it was scary
You don't think
sometimes.
it
I
was
thought it was
redundant?
no, and that's why I also appreciate it. I'm like, yo, he's doing some of the same things, but it didn't feel redundant,
Yeah, that's
you
good.
know.
Yeah, I
And
agree. It didn't feel redundant.
no, and the theme is so deep. I think that we still people don't really agree on what it really is, you
Does
know.
remind you of Leave the War Behind, where it's literally up to your own interpretation.
Yeah, but Leave the World Behind was a little cleaner than that. Like you can see how it closes or whatever. But this
You
one,
really don't, though. It ended up with a girl watching Friends.
I know, but I'm saying, but this one, I don't know. I thought it was a masterpiece, and I think it's gonna win a lot
Hmm.
more awards this year because it's being his last one. Because I do think I don't think that's huh
I said allegedly.
allegedly, yeah, and I think that I don't remember the music, but I tend not to remember scores, especially if it's not
The
just
soundtrack's on Apple Music and Spotify.
yeah. But I don't know. I think I want to watch it again. Um, and really sit down and watch it again. But no, I enjoyed
Okay.
it. I
I could
enjoyed it
see
a
it
lot.
dropping on Disney Plus, maybe in like spring.
Yeah, I saw it was like you could pre-order on Apple TV right now. It's $20. But no, I
Oh,
definitely
I would have
I
done that. I would have done that and watched it again. Oh,
well I
pre-order. Okay, yeah.
pre-order. I would have did it too. But but no, I thought it was interesting. I liked how it had the realism from the war, which obviously Miyazaki depicts war a lot
Yeah.
in these movies. But this is like, in my opinion, one of the most
Have you ever seen Grave of
realistic.
Fireflies?
No, I haven't.
I don't know. That might be a Studio Ghibli film. It's not a Miyazaki film, but yeah, war. Yeah, he does it a lot.
Yeah, it was very well depicted. Even like them creating the air, like the the aircraft manufacturer. You know what I mean? I don't know. I liked it. I liked it a lot, and I walked away in it with a sense of awe and
Oh, Grave of
confusion.
Fireflies. Sorry, it's yeah. That movie was directed by Isao Takahata, and I think he was the main dude before. Yeah, he's the co-founder of Studio Ghibli.
Okay.
So it's not a Miyazaki film, but it is a Ghibli film, and that movie is about World War II. It's so fucking sad.
Hmm. But yeah, no, I would definitely give it a large. I think it deserves a large compared to
Okay,
what I gave other movies large. Is
like
you
what?
know, I think I gave Luca a large. I think I might have gave The Color Purple a large.
Okay. What?
Um,
What did you? What did you? Okay.
Super Mario, I gave a large popcorn.
Yeah. So do you feel like you like Easter eggs?
I do when it well placed.
Okay.
I like references. A lot of movie references I don't get. You know what I mean? Until after the fact, like, oh yeah, they did do that. But this one, it just felt familiar. So because of that, I was able to accept a little more ambiguity because I know who the heck
You
I'm
know,
watching.
yeah, that is true. You know Miyazaki, so you know what you're getting yourself into.
Yes, if this was just a regular Disney movie and this stuff was like, wait, no, 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 you don't have that grace to leave that up in the air. You know what I mean? But the guy who gave me Spirited Away and Howl's Moving Castle, do whatever the heck you want. I'm gonna sit here, I'm gonna watch it. It's gonna look beautiful, and I'm gonna smile and laugh and cry all at the same time.
All right. Well, thank you guys for listening to another episode of the Watch That Join podcast. You can check us out on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. I actually got an email today saying that Google Podcasts is going away. So you
Mm,
can't listen to us on there. But you probably didn't neither since Google Podcasts is going away. So,
it's going
you
away.
know,
Yep. 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 But yeah, guys, thanks for listening. We'll see you soon.
bye.